I never want to fucking hear again. Why do disabled people usually vote for Republicans? Why do disabled people vote for Republicans? It's not just that the fact that Republicans have passed almost every single major legislative win for disabled people, including the Americans with Disabilities Act. It's not just that it was a Republican that proposed Romney Care, which would later become Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act. It's also because disabled people know what to fucking expect with Republicans. If you are a capitalist in this country, I don't give a fuck what side of the aisle you're on, you automatically do not believe that disabled people deserve life. And now you all are watching as the exact same thing that happened to disabled people during the Biden years happened to you all. While you all were celebrating, oh my God, we had so much access during the pandemic. Oh my God, we had so much access during the pandemic. Disabled people were left for dead. Disabled people were quite literally left for dead. The accessibility that you enjoyed at your office space, at your job or whatever, disabled people were the first ones fired. They were the first ones fired the entire time. They were never rehired. Those services, even during the Biden years, were never fully fucking restored. Disabled people died en masse. But because it was a Democrat making everything look good, everybody was okay with that. Disabled people's healthcare was still in a precarious situation, is still in a precarious situation, quote unquote, 5 years after the pandemic. No, it's still been the same. It's still largely been the same. And you all thought that them compromising and being like, well, some people are left to die. That's you, bitch. Some people are left to die. That's you. That's you. And do you want to know what one of the most fucked up aspects to all this is going to be? Because I could show you the future. I could show you the future right now. You know what exactly is going to happen? All this righteous indignation, all of this like anger that liberals are sharing with people across the country right now at the Democratic Party acquiescing to Trump and the Republicans yet a fucking again. They'll commiserate with you. Oh yeah, absolutely. They'll tell you that your anger is completely founded and they completely get where you're coming from. They'll shout with you. They're as angry as you are. Of course they are. The most upsetting thing to me is seeing down the pipeline, down that tunnel to 2 to 4 years from now, right? When elections are happening, you know what they're going to say? Same people that are angry with Democrats' fecklessness, they're going to say that if you bring this up during the midterms or during the general election in 2 to 4 years, that you are, in fact, Russian misinformation trying to steal the election from Democrats. That if you bring up any of your anger from this moment, you are a secret Republican. Because it's vote blue no matter who. Otherwise, you're a Republican. Right? I'm not going to say the Democrats have no plan. They're not going to tell the truth in that moment. No. They're going to lie and lie and lie. Because the most important thing, no matter what, is that Democrats are in office to do absolutely fucking nothing. And their camaraderie with you is conditional. One more thing. Democrats are always going to whiff on healthcare. You don't know why? Disabled people can tell you why. I actually said this in 2022, right? When everybody thought I was out of my fucking mind. I actually said this in 2022. Your bodies are fucking profit centers. Not taking COVID seriously, not taking a pandemic seriously, means that all that private equity that bought up disability services, healthcare services, nursing homes, hospitals, they're set to make fucking trillions of dollars off of your broken ass bodies. Because none of these fucking people ever took your fucking healthcare seriously. The disabled people you let die to return to normal, it was for naught. It was for nothing. Because at the end of the day, they were prepared to treat you fuckers the same exact way. The same exact way as disabled people. You want to know why? Because there's nothing stopping you from becoming me at all. There's no amount of exercise, there's no amount of Ozempic, there's no amount of healthcare cures and essential oils and turmeric that will ever prevent you from becoming disabled. And you want to know who profits once you do? The same exact people who are lobbying and sending mega PAC donations to Democrats, right? And the Democrats have been up and stuck in healthcare private equity for the better part of 2 decades. And that accelerated because of the fucking pandemic. If it was good enough for disabled people, it was good for you, right? When Fauci said, even after Biden was elected, only the disabled and elderly would fall by the wayside, that's you now. That's all of you, okay? Fundamentally, a party of capitalists will never see you all as worthy of life, ever. Because disability is the complete opposite to capitalism. Disabled bodies produce profit. They don't get to extract it. You don't get to make money off of being disabled. Their only goal is to get you in that hospital bed and milk you fucking dry, and then take every single asset that you have in your name to do so. That was always the plan. You need to read this book if you're confused. You need to read this book, okay? It's called Capitalism and Disability. It's by Marta Russell. Once you start reading this book, you'll understand. They were never going to save your healthcare. Never. One more thing, and I'm going to try to be nice. I've had a lot of caffeine and I'm very pissed. I'm going to try to be nice. There's a reason why. Leftist politics, liberal politics are very reluctant to include disabled people. And that's because disability is Democrats' scapegoat for DEI and DEIA. Let me tell you something. There's a reason why DEI was reluctant to include disability in those conversations until later on, until the pandemic. And that's because the Democratic Party is foundationally reliant upon eugenics. And it's been translated to multiple different ethnic, cultural, and racial groups, right, for left-leaning politics. And almost every single thing you all have said about disability is coming home to roost. And it has led to the lack of progress on the left, as well as racist systems remaining in place under the guise that it's good for disabled people, right? Because it's popular for you to believe that disability is the main reason why everybody should have access to abortions. It only becomes racist once you note that the two highest groups for disability are Indigenous people and Black people. The two groups of people they've been trying to eradicate from the very fucking start. You can vote California for the mass institutionalization of disabled people, right? Under the guise that it's good for disabled people. But let's not talk about how political dissidents, civil rights leaders, and anti-war protesters were also caught in those institutions, as well as feminists, Black people. It doesn't matter. If you are away from the norm, you are disabled. It's unpopular for Democrats to say that they don't want to raise the minimum wage from $7.25 an hour. Instead, they won't move forward on a vote on making sure that disabled people can get married because you all think disability love icky, even though that would raise the income limits that you all need to qualify for social safety nets. That's what that bill is about. It's not about disabled marriage. It's about raising the rate at which you all qualify for some of these fucking benefits. But they won't vote on that. No. Disability has always been centrist Democrats' weapon against all of you, and you all are loath to see it because you think the very people who are telling you what the fuck is up are mentally incompetent. But disabled people have been right. No matter how they communicated, no matter how they said what they said, no matter what they walked with, how they talked, disabled people have been right. The whole fucking time. Because you all believe in eugenics more than you believe you deserve to stay alive. And the only thing separating you from me is a bad fucking day. Remember in 2022, 2023, when disabled people, myself included, said that ending the COVID emergency and kicking people off of healthcare and government programs that had been expanded to include people who otherwise wouldn't qualify for those programs would mean not only the rise of the alt-right, but also that our healthcare was in jeopardy long term. And everybody called disabled people alarmists and extremists. I remember that very clearly. So the comment reads, are we using liberal and leftist as the same thing? I'm going to be real honest with you. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to be real fucking honest with you. Do you want to know how many accounts I had blocked at my highest on Twitter? It was 180 something thousand accounts. Do you want to know what the makeup of those were? 85 to 90% liberals and leftists. Why do you ask? Because the dirtbag left went on a tirade attacking disabled people. So the differentiation doesn't really fucking mean anything to me as a disabled person when you treat disabled people the same fucking way. Just either ignore disabled people or straight up call disabled people bullet bags. Not you specifically, but that's part of the reason why. To say, oh, I don't care if disabled people need plastic straws. Like, they could die. That's how you all treat disabled people. So if the treatment is the same, I'm gonna lob you all together the same. And no, I will not lob Republicans in there because they can afford to be ableist and still win. You cannot. By the way, this is why so many disabled people were vocal about Palestine, because we can recognize when you're being disabled for profit and so that you don't fight back. Additionally, we recognize that when you are disabled, most people won't give a fuck about you until it actually impacts them. Because all the shit you're experiencing, disabled people have been shouting about since 2019. And now that's you. There's another resource I wanted to highlight for you. It's called Disability Scoop. If you are really trying to understand what's happening in our country regarding healthcare and disability, this is a publication to like sponsor or to subscribe to. If you're going to pay, $250 a month for cable, $30 a month for Disney Plus or whatever, pay $4 a month for this. But they've been raising the alarm about private equity and disability services, particularly healthcare services overall, the entire fucking time. This article was written in 2022. I actually talked about it. So no, none of this takes me by surprise at all. So, this comment reads, it does matter when trying to make the impact on the correct group, which is intending on telling leftists that they are behaving like that. The wording, I'm confused. But anyways, I'm going to charge along because your username reminded me of something. Because with Basan's internet, I assume you're pro-Palestinian. So, do you know why Cuomo's AI ad included a black man putting on a face mask, a surgical face mask with a kufiya around his neck? It's because when the pro-Palestinian protests started, there was nobody wearing masks. It wasn't very similar to the way that people had organized around Black Lives Matter because people thought they were further from the pandemic than we actually are. And so disabled people organized to advocate within the pro-Palestinian movement to get people to wear masks. And so politicians in New York, California, several very liberal states that were trying to acquiesce to Biden at every turn because they thought he was going to be the nominee forever, they started introducing mask bans, banning people from wearing masks in congregate settings. They continued the work of Republicans to stick it to disabled people via pro-Palestinian protesters and stick it to pro-Palestinian protesters via disability. That just made me think of that.